Hello, and welcome to Way of the Holy Family. Thank you for joining us as we walk in perpetual hope, drawing ever closer to Jesus through life's struggles and triumphs, filled by the Eucharist, and strengthened by community. Way of the Holy Family is here to bring light, encouragement, and a bit of childish fun for all families seeking holiness. Hello, everyone, on this beautiful fall day. Fall is definitely in full swing. Schedules from schooling are back into place. Extracurricular activities have probably already started. And we're hopefully fulfilling all those commitments we had anticipated back in the spring or the summertime. And what else comes with that as well? Oh, colds and viruses. And that's where my family was this past week. I was the first one to get sick. I found out that is certainly a grace when mom gets sick first, because then she can take care of people, because there's always this withdrawal, temptation, and hesitation in embracing and loving others. Isn't that true? But yeah, we hadn't been sick for, golly, a year and a half. And it's only by the grace of God. But man, when I went down, I whimpered. I was a wimp, an absolute wimp. And of course, parents, as you know, when you've got even just a couple of kids or a big crowd, it takes so much work, and it feels like it goes on and on and on between who gets ill, between the parents on who takes care of who gets to sleep this night or this hour, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm just here to say, if you're in the middle of that, you're going to make it. From the growth that we've had from Oliver and I praying together, this past week and a half has been a real game changer when it comes to perspective in loving another person, being thankful for what the other person does. There are the basics such as just how generous my two older kids are and how willing they are to step up even that much more from what they already do to contribute to the family when it comes to maintaining the home or assisting other kids to get ready for bed, for instance, because mom was completely wiped out, to acknowledging each other's spouses and what they do. Multiple times this past week, I have turned to Oliver and said, Oliver, thank you for taking everything off my plate. Because as I either took care of myself or held a sick infant, I literally had nothing else to worry about. I didn't have a job or other priorities outside the home to attend to. And it's something that I can easily take for granted, and I know I have many, many, many times. I feel like this week has kind of been a purification process, because as you're tired and you're cranky, it goes to show that we all need to work together. We all need to be purified. And thank God for it, even though it's not an easy or comfortable process. We certainly need to learn how to love purely those around us within our four walls before we can do it genuinely for other people. I'm going to shift over to our Sunday. For those of us who were healthy, we went to Mass, and when we go, it's like game on. I'm here to serve people. I'm here to welcome people with a smile on my face, even though I don't feel like it. I love to live under rocks. But I also do love people. All my friends, I do love you very much. I just tend to disappear inside myself, but we're made to love each other. And so again, when we walk into church, it's like game on, Lord. Who do you want me to love? Who do you want me to greet? And sure enough, we had people approach us and say hello, families with children to affirm their children being there, et cetera, going to coffee and donuts and loving a newcomer. And of course, before that, shepherding my own children at the Mass after being cooped up for a week long at home. And each age has its own challenges, of course. I feel like 5 through 7-year-old is really difficult because they're old enough to get up and walk somewhere. They're old enough to ask questions, but they're also old enough to verbalize how bored they are. And if they don't like something, they may materialize in just not focusing. And so many times I've redirected my 6-year-old going, focus on the Mass. Stop asking questions. Stop asking questions. Be quiet. But this time, as the Lord had cleared the way for me to serve my family this week, I brought her into my arms during the consecration. And I said, look at the bread and wine. And as Father brings up the bread and wine, it becomes Jesus. You know that, right? She goes, yes. And then when Father lifts it, you can say, my Lord and my God. And so I had my arms wrapped around her. And every time Father lifted up the host and the chalice, we said, my Lord and my God. And if nothing else stuck throughout the whole Mass, that's perfectly fine. You know, a beautiful moment. After receiving blessings and the Eucharist, we came back and my daughter just held me in her arms. It was so peaceful. I just felt like the presence of God was radiating from her heart and she was passing that love back to me. And then she turned to me and said, oh yeah, Mama, octopus kisses are licks. So you never know where your child's mind is at or how much they've picked up, but the whole theme through this entire podcast is to love. That's what the Lord calls us to do. All other things in the world, even if they're legitimate obligations, seem to just wash away and be reduced down to love. Whether it be in the suffering state of being ill to loving one another, it all boils down to love. And there's a great joy and peace in that. Because when you focus on that love, everything else, all trifles, all trifles are reduced to the wind. They're not enduring. Only love is enduring. Christ is enduring. And with Christ, you're gonna make it. Peace, friends. Thank you for joining us today. Check back every Tuesday through Thursday as we drop new episodes and news. Feel free to follow, or if you would like to know more information about Way of the Holy Family, please click the link below to our website, wayoftheholyfamily.com.